welcome to the Atlanta Sea Colony live stream. Brendan, how you doing tonight, buddy? Oh, is that what we're doing tonight?
I'm going to mime the whole episode.
Mime the whole episode. I do want to show a little something off. Actually, both of us will. We've got some ASC stuff.
Your music's way too loud. And
I'm just a sexy guy.
How many people get that reference?
You know what? It's not. Thank you, babe. Yes.
Oh, why am I typing?
How is yours?
Yeah, his gear. He's
got
some stuff.
Okay.
Now I don't know why I'm typing that in the chat.
Yeah, I'm digging my ASC hat. I'm a big snapback hat guy.
I'm going to see if I can make that logo bigger though, because I agree that's a little smaller than I think it should be.
Either way, it's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to buy another one anyways, just so I can wear one to work and then one that I can keep clean. But yeah. And I got the Go Below and Beyond shirt. And then Brendan, you just got the logo shirt going on right now.
I did. I think I'm gonna get a tank top type of thing for the gym. I still want to get.
I was glad that you said for the gym because I really was gonna vote that you did not do that for the live stream.
Oh well, I have to show off the guns as I get back in the gym. You know.
Well, let's wait for those to show up before you start.
How's it going tonight?
Do the Shawn Michaels thing.
Here we go. Yeah. We need to partner with a dive company and get some stuff on some wetsuits, maybe.
There you go. Or just buy a wetsuit and have someone print it on there.
I could do that too.
Now I have that theme song going through my head right now.
Nice.
They think I'm cute doing that.
Anyway.
I know I'm sexy. Anyways, yeah. So how are things down in Mississippi, buddy?
It's nice weather today. It was in the 70s, beautiful outside. It was good.
Yeah, today it was in the 70s here, high 60s, low 70s, I think. I can't remember. Either way, super nice for March in South Dakota. And tomorrow we're supposed to get a snowstorm, get like up to 5 inches of snow tomorrow.
That's crazy.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. Super
excited. But yeah, that's South Dakota life for you. So I mean, what do we got going today, buddy?
No, actually, we got even I sent you a Marco Polo earlier. I can't talk tonight.
A few of them.
Stuff. Yeah, but there's some other stuff I want to talk about as well. Yeah, go ahead and throw that one out there first off.
It's nice to have a little ticker going while we're doing our business.
Oh, do you not want to say anything about it?
I was just going to let the visual run. I'm sorry, because we usually address it like 10 times during the thing anyways.
That's fine. Anyway, so one thing that, through our Patreon, that Babe and me have been having lots of conversations through there, both public and private. But one thing that came up here recently was the mermaid movement. And this is something I've seen Instagram people do and but I didn't know it was a thing. I just thought it was, okay, this person loves mermaids and they decide to make some sweet looking flippers and, and what it was. But he was saying it's actually it's a whole entire movement type of thing. And his daughter is actually one of them. So it's one of those things where I wanted to talk about, hey, other people aware of this? Are people into that? What's going on with the whole thing?
I'd say this is all new to me. I did not.
And it was me too. I saw
when you first told me about it earlier today. I'm like, what? Now I didn't know if it was like a cosplay thing or if it's.
That's kind of what I thought was. Is one person doing like cosplay for that, and so I don't know. But yeah, so he's explaining a little bit to me. It was really, really quick just the last couple of days, so I haven't really dove too much into it. But when I checked out his daughter's Instagram, actually, let's give her a plug too. Let me pull it up here real quick. Actually, he probably knows it faster than I do, but let me. It's
Good thing we're super prepared.
Yeah, well, I was going to talk about it, but I didn't even think about giving her a plug. But where's she at? There she is. Let me throw it in the chat here. So if you want to go follow Babe's daughter on Instagram and her mermaid lifestyle, you most certainly can. Is it pronounced Aria? Mermaid.
The human world, it's a mess.
We're going to get copyright infringements or something on us for you.
I need a soundboard that way we can like just do little.
Oh, dear Lord.
I'd probably get carried away with it, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. So basically, the way I want to talk about it was he was talking about like maybe like an ambassador type of thing. I just wanted to throw it out there. Who is into this? Who is knowledgeable on this? Who likes this type of stuff? And yeah, we'll probably throw a post out on the socials. Actually, I'll probably do it here this week. But babe, anything you want to add to this whole thing here?
I'm pulling up the Instagram now and going through this. This is crazy.
Yeah, I mean the detail on those is like crazy.
This is insane.
Yeah, that's why I said it. I was like, man, there's some close-ups of it. And it looks super realistic. And he said that there's even better ones than that out there. I don't think I could pull it off personally.
You couldn't. I'll tell you right now, you couldn't. Like, I'm just gonna flat out tell you.
Well, once I get back in the gym, I'll be like.
It has nothing to do with the gym. Has nothing to do with it.
Merman. What's that from? Zoolander.
I don't think I've ever actually seen Zoolander.
Oh man.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
I could just get stuck in this doing this the whole thing. Just.
Yeah, it's gonna be here. So some of it's cosplay in the May. They
also yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
we
cool.
want some mer people on our side.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool to have like a sponsored ASC mer person.
See, I've seen those things on. Yeah, let's talk about that after this show.
Maybe could we have like a cat? Can we have like a cattle brand and like brand the mer person with the ASC logo?
Okay, let's not even talk about that.
Obviously.
Wow. Okay, so I play the Shawn Michaels entry music, and you're like, "Oh, you can't be doing that." And you're talking about branding people, and apparently we're just like, "That's fine. We can talk about branding people."
It sounded better in my head than when it came out of my mouth.
One of our patrons' daughter does this, and you talk about branding her.
So Aria,
that's with a long like Aria.
Aria.
Like how long is the like Aria, or is it Aria, or just Aria? We're not doing anything else till we figure out how long the is in Aria. Kidding.
Oh man, I got no water.
No, that would be is what I was gonna say until you start talking about branding them. Is that like I've seen like on TV and movies and stuff where like they have these like fancy restaurants that are like half submerged, and they have like the you can see the water and stuff, and they actually have the like people dressed up like mermaids like outside the windows like putting on entertainment and stuff. So I mean that's pretty cool. We could do the same thing with our underwater habitat, except for we won't tell the people staying there that that's where that's happening. And then like they're just like, oh man, look at this beautiful view, and then we just have like someone swim by and they're like, oh, what the heck.
It'd be like the movie Splash.
Never seen that, never heard of it, don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's from the 80s.
Yep, I wasn't really around then, so
there is that. Anyway,
but yeah, you were.
Yeah, one of the things that once again, like I say, it's new to me too. I'm definitely gonna look into it some more. I just Yeah, throwing it out there.
Mm-hmm. Now, this is what Babe should do is tell his daughter to get in the chat, because it's like we need to ask her some questions about this.
Or wait, bigger crimes
from children. Yeah, I seen a video of, I can't remember what it was, like an aquarium zoo. Um, um, yeah. No, I seen there was like a zoo slash aquarium. Maybe it was mainly an aquarium, but yeah, they had like a gal dressed up in the mermaid gear and stuff, and like did like presentations with the children, and like would do like swimming in front of them, but then come out and talk to them and all that. Yeah, it was very cool. So I know my kids would go nuts if they, if they were able to see this in person.
Yeah. I know my nieces would too. That's cool. Maybe maybe not branding, but what if we got one of those tags like they put on sharks?
The ones you have to pierce them with?
Well, I mean, it's not a real fin, so it's not really going to hurt them.
But what if it messes up their... Okay, it's not aerodynamics underwater, it's hydrodynamic. Yeah, so maybe like it'd mess up their swimming.
Yeah.
Why do we need to...
the cause.
Why do we need to tag or brand them at all?
I'm going to type and check in. What kind of live did she do? Did she do a live around this, or is it something completely different? And where does she do live at? On Facebook? What am I doing? TikTok? On the TikTok?
On the tube? On the Twitch?
Is she on the TV? Anyway. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second here.
Oh, I'm giving you a second.
Someone's knocking on the door. I'm going to pop out for 1 second here.
Oh, pop out. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Adam Show. My name's Adam. No. No, so this is cool. I'm glad that we're getting to talk about this. She is doing a D&D session. That is awesome. I want to be a part of that. I've never played. Back. Oh, well, we were having fun without you, but whatever. He said she's doing a D&D. So, like, is that a Twitch thing? Sorry, I know we're getting way off topic, but like, I know a lot of people do that. Like on Twitch, they do Dungeons and Dragons on that, and they do like podcasts and stuff.
Well, we played that one game that was D&D, wasn't it?
Do what?
We played that one game that was D&D, wasn't it? That one MMO.
What?
Never mind.
Neverwinter?
Yeah.
That's not Dungeons and Dragons.
I thought it was.
Dungeons and Dragons is like the book, and
yes,
like...
I know, but I think Neverwinter may have been, because I wasn't allowed to play it growing up because I was going to summon demons.
Babe, has your daughter ever summoned demons? Mermaid demons, maybe?
Well, Death Clock has mermaid murder. Anyway, we are way off track right now.
Yeah, so
yes, Neverwinter is based off of the D&D franchise.
Okay. Now, I'm trying to. I'm trying to find
this is important. Here. We need to make sure that everybody knows. No, there were no demons summoned.
Hey, Carla, how are you doing?
She just laughs at us.
Well, whatever. I still want to acknowledge she's here.
We're here for your entertainment and your. Sorry, my bad. Do I look more studly with the glasses on? Or off?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Who else am I going to ask?
Oh, I don't care. People are sitting here watching. Hold on, I'm gonna pull a video up here quick.
Of what? Of Dungeons and Dragons?
Yes, yes.
All right. Well, see,
Um,
Carla said without, so
Da, 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 da. Share screen. Share. This is the one I was talking about.
I thought she's falling asleep.
It's only like a 44-second video, by the way.
Yeah, I don't have the body to pull that off.
I can just imagine you being at an aquarium or like a zoo like this, doing the same thing, just hanging out in this little enclosure thing, just waving at kids.
That'd be the creepiest thing ever.
It's like, who's that guy in the t-shirt? Like,
Yeah, because that's the thing about me. Anytime I'm in the water, I always have a t-shirt on. I don't matter where I'm at. I always wear a t-shirt. What the heck were you? Yeah. So I definitely I'd have to have a t-shirt on.
oh,
Anyway.
whoops. Yeah. That was the one I was thinking of. Like, I suppose I should have left the video up so I could figure out where that was. But yeah, and that was a really cool cost. So yeah, this bugs me, babe. You should tell your daughter to cancel what she's doing and join our chat
Yeah.
because we have a lot of questions. Like, so what do they like? Do they call them just tails? Like, oh, I got to go put my tail on, or is it like what's the terminology of what they're using? Do you call it a costume? Do you call it fins? Do you call it what? I mean, the thing is, certain communities want proper terms used. She's 100% behind more people. Oh, hold on. I was gonna click it. She didn't understand at first what it was. She said, push the green conservation angle so her generation will better understand what ASC is. She thought at first it was just a big conspiracy site.
Well,
we have another site.
Yeah. I was going to say some stuff, but just going to get on another track.
So it's funny that you say that because we did, in one of our conversations that we had, like I won't say exactly who, just because of whatever. But Brent and I both talked with like I guess it was like a dive shop, and they are merfolk. It's just a tale. Okay. Anyways, we talked with a dive shop because we were kind of wanting to get information on, maybe a partnership or whatever, or just to get information on what they thought of the project. And the kind of advice that they gave us is the fact that there's a lot of places and companies and even like local governments and stuff that are like that live off that are all like coastal cities that are putting like say like shipping containers and railroad cars and just whatever out in the ocean to help rebuild coral. And their advice is that one of the things that we should do is to make sure that we push this as it can also be used in that fashion, in a sense that it's not going to be something that deters the environment that we set it in, but can actually be used to, I guess, help rebuild coral and rebuild the life around that area. And I remember back when we talked with Carly Jackson from the Seasteading Institute, when we did a podcast interview with her, because obviously Seasteading Institute, they get a lot of the same questions and concerns that we do, and placing environments in the ocean can help rebuild the life around there. And like what you say, like fish, not agitators, but some, like when new things get introduced into an environment, it actually attracts more life around that because the fish and whatever want to check whatever it is out. And once again, depending on the materials and stuff that you use and put into the ocean, it can actually calcify and whatever and start rebuilding the coral. Which, if you guys pay attention to any like conservation type news, that's one of the things they say is that coral is constantly being like diminished. So anything to help rebuild that is obviously a good thing. So sorry, I just went on a tangent there, but
It's all good. It's all good. I love your tangents. Always seem to make good conversation pieces. You went on one last week too. It worked.
Did I go on one last week?
I'm pretty sure it was last week.
Oh, you didn't want to throw anything on to what I was just saying?
No, I think you covered it well. I mean, yeah. But anyway, I don't have anything else at this point in time. I'd say it's all news. I didn't even expect it to go on for 20 minutes. So I can't believe we've been talking about this for 20 minutes. But I think that just shows that there's a lot to be learned about this.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm going to share my screen again here in a second.
Okay.
So this is what I just found. You go to Etsy. There's people that like make these, so like you can.
That's obviously definitely not the same quality.
Well, right. I'm just saying, like, there's people out there that will, and I figured Etsy was the best place to look to try to find something like that.
Yeah.
I just typed in mermaid tail, and obviously you just get a lot of the mermaid decorations and stuff that my kids would love. But yeah, a lot of mermaid dresses.
Didn't Will Smith do a song about that in that one show, that one cartoon?
What? What? Right. That's a good point, because that was I mean, Brendan has talked about that a lot, is it's like when you get introduced closer to the environment in which you're trying to help fix, I mean, being out there is going to be beneficial, as opposed to, we know based off the news and stuff, like, that the ocean's not being taken care of very well. But if you can get people up close to it and just like be able to admire what is out there and like get like a firsthand physical experience with the environment, then you have a much better chance of being able to, I don't know, be affected by it and maybe want to be more influenced by it.
Yeah, man, lot to think about, a lot to talk about. But yeah, it's. I mean, I think this is going to something we may have to do a little more research on. Maybe get your daughter either on the podcast, even maybe just throwing things out there. Maybe do a whole thing with her about that too.
Yeah, it's we've always been. I don't want to. We talk about this like every now and again. A Mertailor. Just throw Mer in front of.
There's like a whole culture here around this thing.
Yeah. Like their tridents are made by mersmiths.
Mm-hmm.
No, what was I about to say? That we don't want to advertise ourselves as like our selling point isn't about like conservation. Like I know that sounds like a bad way of putting it, but it's just like we want to create a hub for people that do want to partake in more. They have I guess almost like a base of operation. Like we're not advertising it as like, hey, ASC is going to save the ocean. ASC is going to provide habitats that can help rebuild the coral, help bring interest to the marine life, and I mean, we have multiple selling points with it, but that's just, it's a hard pitch when people look from the outside in and not have a deep understanding of what it is we do, because people's first thought is like, oh, they're just going to dump something in the ocean. We can't have that. But
man, that's huh. Yeah, like Babe said here, it's a global community and growing. Interesting.
So do they have like conventions and stuff? Because if they do, we should go. They probably don't do it like at a convention center. They probably do it in like pools.
Yeah. So much I don't know about this. Anyway,
Finfolk.
I didn't realize this was gonna be. What's that noise in the background, by the way?
Oh,
Your
it's
dog.
my
Your dog.
I took away his bone and he found it. Okay. Whatever. Oh wow. Okay, so hold on a second. This is the site he was talking about.
Okay. Holy cow! Look at that sucker.
Look at that. That's insane.
Whew.
Look at the detail on that. Holy cow, and they come in my size? We can go up to a 5XL?
See?
Man. I'm not actually a 5XL, but we're getting there. No, this is awesome. $375. That's really not as much as I would have figured it would have been. Like, I would have figured it would have been a lot more. Do you think, like... Yeah, see, I have so many questions. You think we'd have a lot of... people would have a lot of tough time swimming in those right off the bat? Like, do you have to be a really good swimmer before you just throw one of those on?
I would think so.
Augie, why are you bringing it closer to me, dog? Now he's sitting right underneath my chair, chewing his bone. Okay, why am I the only one doing all the talking, Brendan?
Well, because you just been talking.
Well, then you get all quiet. I really like the fact that many in this community love the idea of life in the water. ASC can be a part of that, or be part of what can make that happen. Swimming and very comfortable in the water. I probably said on that site, and I closed it already. It's probably got to be made out of the same. You guys should each get one and wear them on your neck. You know what? You buy it for me. I'll totally. Ow, Augie. I'll totally do it.
I think we should start a walrus movement since we can be big.
That would be mine. I could.
Yeah, and hairy and grow out that Wilford Brimley stash going on there.
Hold on.
Who knows? Anyway, Adam and his life and his children and his animals. But anyway, to that point with the conservation stuff, is something I was going to talk about. Now we can segue. I guess we won't segue here. At the conventions. Huh. Nobody wants to see your dog. Makes sense.
I just had his bone from him. Hi, Pam. That was a smaller one. I have two Barbies. That one I can actually pick up.
I guess it makes sense, though, because it almost have to be, because otherwise you'd be fighting against that tail the whole time, maybe holding you up against the water. So you may want to have it weighted a little bit, which would, man.
But like pour some concrete in
it kind of gives me anxiety right there just thinking about that, too. Anyway. Whew. Yeah. I would think.
I know just enough to stay afloat. I know.
Just enough to stay afloat, huh?
Like, I can swim, just not super fast. Then again, I've never swam with flippers or anything before. That probably helps.
A lot. Anyway, like I was saying while you were gone there, a segue in this.
Neoprene. That's like the guy
Yes.
from the Matrix.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. What? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, both my nieces have had monofins in the past.
The monofin.
Basically, it's like flippers, but they're joined together. So you slide your feet in. It's one big like tail, like flipper, like one big flipper. I guess it is.
Oh, okay. See, I
Yeah.
think that would make me panic, not being able to move my feet separately.
It cuts down on chafing, though.
How much are your feet chafing when you're swimming underwater?
How much are your thighs if you're bigger?
Why? Still, it's not like my legs are like that when I swim. Like maybe like that.
I've never watched you swim, Adam. I don't know what you do. I'm just looking out for you, buddy.
I know, but like what you're saying doesn't make sense. Usually the chafing wouldn't even start until after you're out of the pool. You know how chafing works, right? There are so many different conversations going on right now. We're trying to talk about ocean conservation. We're talking about the mer people, and now you want to talk about chafing. You are derailing this whole live stream right now.
I apologize. I'm just going to shut up. I'm just going to sit here and
No, you need to talk.
Let you talk.
First it was like, let's brand mermaids. And then it was just like, hey, like, you need a monofin so you don't chafe.
So let's talk about some good podcasts out there.
Good podcasts?
No, so one thing I did want to talk about, and we can keep on coming back to this or not, but it kind of segues from that was, we started the colonization, the podcast, as being that because there wasn't too many underwater based podcasts out there, at least that I was aware of when I got looking into it. But since then, I found quite a few. I mean, the Seasteading Institute has their own podcast, which we definitely, it's called Seasteading Today. So this is for people that are into podcasts. Definitely check that out. And another one I've come across, it's a little drier. It's much more an NPR style podcast. But if you're deep into like the ocean technology and stuff along those lines, is Sea State. I've been listening to a lot of it recently. They only put out like one a month, but it's usually it's pretty detailed. They got like, let's see. Coastal observing systems, unmanned and autonomous vehicles. And one of the reason I want to talk about that was, going back to the statement earlier that was said about, being underwater for conservation, stuff along those lines, and seeing it and being embedded in it is more important than just, watching it from the surface or TV and stuff along those lines. TV. Anyway, and they were saying that too, especially, as they're building autonomous vehicles and ROVs and everything like that to go down and explore like the Titanic and other shipwrecks like that. It's all great, but there's nothing like being there. So they had a company on there that makes submersibles, and they're talking about, bigger and deeper and to get more people there so they can explore and experiment. It was okay there.
Well, he asked if we could make notes of the podcast.
Yeah. Actually, as I get in talking here, I'll put notes in there real quick. And just talking about their sentiments as well about, hey, it's being there is just so much more important even today with our height. We got 4K cameras and all this other kind of stuff. You got VR and 360, but there's still nothing like actually being there with your own physical eyes. And I don't see that ever being replaced until you get some kind of like neural implant where it's basically like you're seeing with your own eyes down there. I don't ever foresee that changing. And even then, still, there's something about physically seeing it with your own eyes. But yeah, go ahead and take it away, Adam, as I pull up these podcasts and put them.
Oh, I didn't have anything to take it away on.
Well, I think you're going to need to make up something to here for me.
You were talking about podcasts. Another one I would recommend is when we got to interview Tech Clark. He actually hosts two podcasts.
I'll grab those too.
Yeah, the League of Extraordinary Divers and the Dive Locker. Like the Dive Locker is more so about like just scuba diving, like the science behind it, I guess, or the education behind it, where League of Extraordinary Divers is about like he talks with like other scuba divers and like they just talk about like certain dives and like everybody's stories with their dives, and there's a lot of cool stories on that. So, and obviously you can find those on any of your podcast apps. I use Castbox. That's what I listen to all my podcasts on. But yeah, Tech Clark, he was a really cool guy, and I wish I could get a hold of him. He hasn't responded to one of my emails, but I'm going to hit him up again. Get him on the live stream because he was a sweet dude.
He was swell.
He was swell, and he was a big fan of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Or not Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Sea Lab 2021. And if you're looking for me, you better check under the sea.
I'll actually give direct links to Tech Clark's here as I'm pulling them up.
Yeah. Very, very cool dude.
Anyways.
Those are the ones that I can think of. Yeah. We were interviewed on a podcast a while back. Engineered Minds. We were there.
Yeah.
We were their first episode.
Yeah, let me pull them up too. Where you're talking.
We did it's actually a YouTube video you can check. Actually, you find the link to the podcast. I'll find a link to the video.
I was looking for the video. So does he have a?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I could have thrown these out as Apple links, but here's I won't throw a direct link out there, but here's the name of it. Yeah, I don't listen to text as much as I could. I need to put it on my thing so I listen to them more, because if it's not on my Google Play podcast, I usually just don't listen to them.
Oh, I just threw the link out there. I'm sorry.
I threw the one out for the what it is
for the actual podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a fun time. We did that back in. We did that.
Yeah, that's a while.
That was a year ago. Almost a year ago. Yeah, it was March 29th that he uploaded it. So it was probably around this time that we did the actual interview. So that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, April 22nd is what's shown on the podcast here, but yeah.
Yeah, that was actually really, really cool that we were able to do that. 625 views. That's pretty cool. He's got man. We need to hit him up again because he's got like. Oh yeah, we got to hit him up again. He's getting like a lot of views on his stuff.
Yeah. No, he's right blown up. I still follow him. He's right.
We need to pooch off of his success.
Whatever. Anyway,
no, he was a really cool guy. I always forget how to pronounce his name. Is it Joseph? Was it Joseph? Joseph Murad?
I don't know.
Anyways, he was a cool guy.
I forget how to pronounce your name most days.
If you're into engineering and stuff, that's what his podcast is based off of. So, yeah, he's doing a really good job on that.
So the only other thing I really had to talk about, well, we got two things we want to talk about, I guess. Do we want to talk about your post that you're planning on putting out there, or you want to hold off on that?
Do you want me to get into that now? What else did you have to talk about, or was that kind of the?
One thing I had to talk about was kind of like something we're going to be doing here is something we talked about last week, which we're going to please tell your friend to look at my daughter with the.
Please tell your friend. Which friend?
I'm guessing Carla, or we're talking about somebody else. Anyway, yeah, no, your post thing you're going to talk about, but also, in our meeting, are you playing something? Oh, no, I'm just getting feedback in my ears. We're starting to have more regular business meetings directly after the podcast. It seems to work the best for us. And one thing we talked about, and yeah, Carla, yeah, she's friends. I'm friends with her in IRL, in real life, for all you kids out there. Anyway, so yeah, I'll let her know. And one of the things we're talking about is, we do things. My big thing is getting people involved. And I think that's how we're going to get this done. Oh, yeah, there's 3 things we still want to talk about. But this has already gone pretty long, so we'll see what we can get in and what we can't. It's getting people involved because I think that's how we're going to get this thing done. That, in the private group on Facebook, they were asking about finances and how we're going to finance this whole thing. Down the road, it's going to change, obviously, as we actually start building the things and direct to consumer, and it's just a standard business at that point in time. But to get to that point, how do we do it? And a couple of years ago, I looked at government grants, and I actually started filling out the forms and stuff along those lines. And then I was like, I really don't want this to hang on the government and be government involved in any way. And I just lost my headphones. So they died. Anyway, so I can't hear you. But anyway, and so, we've done in the past, we've done multiple different crowdfunding and all those Kickstarters and stuff like that. Nothing's really ever happened through any of them. That's fine, whatever. So it's always going back to Patreon, merch, PayPal, and self-funding. And for the prototype, for the proof of concept, whatever we want to call it, that's still the way I think we're going to go about it, unless some investor comes along and sees it. But the problem with investors is they want to see something. And I've talked to a couple of different investors over the years that have reached out to me, interested in the project and looking to invest. And it fell through for one reason or another. But I think, and Adam actually is the one that championed this more than anything, is we have to have something to show for it before people, get invested, especially in today's world. Everybody is, they right, instant gratification. They have to see it. They need it right now, type of thing. And until we have something to show for it, most people aren't going to get around and invest in it, promote it, support it, because it is too easy anymore for anybody to pay somebody $20 off Fiverr to design something really cool for them and make a website for $10 a month or something along those lines, and have the latest great thing. I mean, we could easily be doing that. The reason we do all this other stuff is to cement the fact that we're not that, and that we're legit about this. 2 of my 3 part-time jobs goes directly into Atlanta Sea Colony. That's how serious I am about this thing. The only reason they all don't go there is I have bills. Otherwise, I'd be putting all my money into it, because that's how much I believe in this, and I'm serious about that. So that's why I am completely humbled by our patrons or anybody that gives us money, because it is for whatever it is a relief that other people are actually putting their money where their mouth is. And that is not the shame or anybody else that's not doing that. I totally get everybody's different in some of those lines, and some people are waiting to see what we do, and that's cool. We want to prove you guys right. So that's basically the whole financial thing. And I wrote a big long thing, threw it in the Facebook group. If you're part of that group, great. Patreon guys, I'll throw it in there just so you guys can see it too. Sorry, I didn't do that beforehand. But that's that. That was the one thing I wanted to talk about. You got anything you want to add to that, Adam?
Well, no, I was just going to go into kind of our latest plan, I guess you could say, if you didn't have anything else you wanted to throw in beforehand.
Well, let me add on to that too. And so, with the whole thing of trying to get people involved in stuff along those lines, that's a financial involvement, but there's other ways that you can use your talents and your giftings to help us as well. And this is one that I am willing to pay for as well, as we're looking for people like graphic artists and stuff I mentioned before. And not everybody watches this thing, so we're going to be making some posts about that. But so for you who are watching this, if you know people that are very skilled at that thing, I'd love to see some of their work. And that's I'm just talking about graphics. We're going to have a whole list of different positions we're looking for help in, that if people basically freelance work for the most part. If you've got that skill and you can help us out, let me know. We're looking for help to try to grow this thing faster than just Adam and I, and then the other entity, whether she is involved or not, if she's even watching. But yeah, so that's that. But yes, go for it, Adam.
Okay, so kind of taking on to what Brendan was saying, basically two things will happen that makes this thing happen. It's going to be either three things. Sorry. That's going to financially make this happen. And he basically covered it, and I'll just go over it again real quick. Someone's going to have to, trust us, that has money to take on this project. Someone that has the money is willing to fund it and help us, whatever. That's going to be the most difficult one. We're trying that avenue. We talk with people, but it is the most difficult one. And in all fairness, it's completely understandable. Like you said, if you don't have anything to show for it, it's a huge gamble to give, a lot of money to someone. So that is one avenue. The other avenue is that we can sit and wait for Brendan to raise all this money out of his pocket to do this, but it could be a while. Like you said, he has a life outside of this, and just self-funding it is going to take a while. The third is the most viable, like we were saying, and that's with the crowdfunding, which is like what we've really been trying to lean towards. Now, all three of these can tie into each other pretty well if we attack this whole project in segments. So as what I pitched to Brendan is something I'm going to call the 5x5 habitat drive. And is what that would be is by May 5th, we'll just even it out by having it to be the 5th day of the 5th month, that we're going to try to get as many people to donate $5 or up. So, and what the goal with this would be, and Brendan, we've talked about the whole container thing, right? I'm pretty sure we talked about it in the live stream before. What happened to you? Your audio cut out.
Not so much. There we go. Not so much. I mean, I think we haven't straight out, because that's always been Patreon and the private group. We haven't really detailed too many.
Okay, so I'll go around it a little bit. Okay. Are you muting yourself? Is that what's going on here?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering if your thing was kind of okay. No. Sorry. So, anyways, is what our goal with that would be, and is that the drive, the 5x5 habitat drive. Yeah, I thought we did on the live stream before. I'm pretty sure we did, and it doesn't matter. Anyways, so we're trying to raise as much money by May 5th, right? So it's we're in the second week of March. We got probably 8 weeks or 6 weeks, give or take. Whereas if we can get everybody to donate $5 or up, and the way I figured is if we had every single one of our followers donate $5, we'd have quite a bit of money. Now, I fully don't expect anyone or every single follower to donate $5. But if we can get as many as possible, is what I do feel like we can accomplish, is that we can get our structure started with the Atlantic Sea Colony Project. Is that if we were able to collect enough money off this habitat drive, and maybe is what Brendan and I will discuss after this, because we're going to do a little business meeting after this, is kind of a dollar target on what we need to get the core, the structure started on this. And then we'll use that as our goal or target or whatever. So, and as what my thinking is this, it's just okay, say that we can get our structure started, then maybe investors will come along and be okay, you've already started it. We're willing to help you out the rest of the way. So, hey, thanks for joining us, Pam. I really appreciate you tuning in. You can catch us every Tuesday, and we'd be glad to have you here. But yeah, that's kind of been my thinking, is that if we can get the main structure of this started, which isn't the bulk of the funding is going to be used for, I mean, in my opinion, transportation and the equipment that's going to be needed to use to sink the thing. That's my opinion. I guess Brendan would probably know more about that than I do, but we can get a really good chunk of the way by just getting the structure in place. Even if we can just get this thing ready, if we get the money, we'll figure out where we're going to put it to start working on it. But that's kind of the goal, is to get, by May, have the funds, or at least enough, or at least get started with the funds. Hopefully, like I said, we'll hit a target number, and then that'll get us started in the direction we want to go. So then, we can show you guys stuff and the progress that we're doing, and it's not just a weekly live stream of us just talking about it. We can actually show you what we're doing, and not only that, just be able to then show, like I said, investors or people that do have the money to be like, okay, we're actually already started on it. Can you help us out the rest of the way? So once again, that's like the combination. Maybe it can be partly crowdfunded, partly investor, and then, like I said, then it doesn't all fall on Brendan's bank account. So I feel like I explained that well enough. Brendan, is there anything else you want to add?
No, I think yeah, and I think going back to the whole funding thing, it's also one of those things where if we can get it kickstarted, at that point in time, we can start doing live streams from building it, or start making a YouTube series, etc., around that to drive the help of building an underwater habitat, and really put some money behind marketing that and getting that out there too, because I think that's going to definitely draw interest. There's enough communities out there in the building sector and stuff like that too, that I think we tag along with too, that people would draw over to as well.
Yeah,
explain that well, but I mean.
Yeah, because it's one thing if we were able, like, we approached, like, say we got the structure built, or like, the core of it ready to go, right? That's going to be a lot more interesting to someone that might want to get involved, rather than just going up to someone and showing them like cool pictures, like, hey, this is what we're working on. They'd be like, oh, okay, that's cool. But now we could be like, hey, this is what we're working on, and we actually have it started. Then they might be like, oh, okay, cool. I would love to be involved, because now I know you're actually doing it, and it's not just a crazy idea. Because let's face it, it is a crazy idea. It's a crazy idea. Like, outside looking in, it is. I mean, this isn't the first thing a lot of people would think about. A lot of people think it's cool, but a lot of people also think that this would be like, oh, that's a sci-fi type thing, or like a luxury type vacation. It's like, no, we're trying to make this to where, like you've said a million times, Brennan, accessible to anybody. That's the goal, and it's,
and my problem is I'm horrible at explaining things as well as I should too. So, when I tell people about it, they laugh at me about it, the whole thing, and that's partially my own fault, because I don't. I got a real quick elevator speech thing. I know Atlanta Sea Colony is, wants to be a catalyst to building underwater habitats for hotels and houses and stuff along those lines. But that still doesn't really explain what it is. And that's, once again, that's something I'm always working on, how to, even like your wife said, she didn't understand it at first either. And the person I went over our business plan with didn't get it until we dove deep into the business plan. I spent time explaining it, but it took a while to explain it too. So, yeah. It's tough.
Yeah, and like I said, we understand people's hesitations and concerns on it. That's why we know it's like we have to make the pieces fall into place to get this thing to work. But it also, I mean, it helps when the people that are interested in it don't like. And I hate to be the people that's like, hey, can you please donate some money? But it's just like, if we can get enough people to donate a super small amount, like I said, $5 or whatever you're comfortable with, that can make a huge difference in the long run. Because I'm confident we can get this thing built pretty affordably, like the prototype. And then, like I said, as soon as we get I've said a million times already, the structure built, then we can start maybe hooking up with some other people to be like, hey, do you want to help us get this thing sunk somewhere? Do you want this can we put this at your resort, at your dive shop, at your whatever? Can we do that? Then, there's more interest, and then like we can attack that level. But we have to have something physical to show people. And this is going to be, I think, our best way to do it. So, Brendan, I'm going to catch you off guard with
Yeah.
this, but I think you'd be all right with it. So, how about anybody that can donate $5 or up? Like, we'll automatically enter them into like a drawing to, if by May 5th, anybody that donates $5 or up, we'll get them like a T-shirt and a hat or something off of our
Yeah.
store.
Merchandise of their choice.
Boop.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, we'll set up something official. Yeah, I figured like I said,
I thought about making a new piece of merchandise that had my face on it. What do you think about that? Okay.
hard pass. But yeah, let's do something like that. Like we'll create something with it to where it's just like, even $5 can get you a little bit of merch.
Ching-ching.
But yeah, we'll work out the details on that. But something like that would be pretty cool. I'm pushing the hat because I'm really digging my hat. I really like my hat.
See,
So.
I don't wear hats. I like hats, but they give me a headache every time I wear them.
I used to not be able to wear any hats, but then it's like I found certain ones that just work.
But see, I used to wear them all the time when I was welding and stuff like that. I wore them all the time, and then I stopped wearing them, and I try to go back, and I give me a headache every time I wear them.
Do you have them on too tight?
It doesn't matter what kind of hat it is.
It's squeezing your soft skull.
Even this like beanies and stuff give me a headache. I'm just
really.
I'm super sensitive. I'm a sensitive guy.
With beanies, my hair, like not my hair, my head itches so bad, no matter the type of beanie, and that drives me nuts because I have like a Bluetooth beanie that I like to wear sometimes, like when snow blowing and whatever. But like, it just makes my head itch just because of the fabric and all that. But that's a whole different story. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at, and we actually probably need to about wrap it up for the night because we kind of said that like we'll kind of make 8:30 our cutoff time if we go for an hour. So
yeah.
So but just to recap, we'll get like more official with that, and then we'll have stuff on our social medias, and then we'll talk more about it in the next live stream. Same with like if you want to get involved, we'll have more details on that. But I mean, really, in the meantime, the biggest thing is just helping us get the word out there because if we do this drive, when we do this drive, we need as many people that have eyes on this as possible. So let's start. Let's just go down the list right now. AtlantaSeaColony.com. You're going to be able to see all of our social medias on there. Your Facebook, Facebook, Instagram, which is a new Instagram, by the way. It's Atlanta Sea Colony, Atlanta Sea Colony LLC. Huh?
I got a link for it there.
Okay, so that's the new one because we talked about how we had problems with the old one. So all of any social media that is out there, really, the main ones, just look for Atlanta Sea Colony. You'll find us. But yeah, go to the website. So, and then we talked about the funding. So Edward Haas, Brian Acosta, Babe Hyde. Those are our patrons right now. If you want to be a Patreon member, for like $1 or $5 a month, those are the tiers we have set up. Has once you're part of that, you can talk with Brendan a little bit more exclusively. Not that we're inaccessible otherwise, but I mean, we have other conversations going on there. Also, and this is probably going to, yeah, and this will probably be our big one for when we do the drive is having the PayPal. The paypal.me/Atlanta Sea Colony. If you want to make a one-time donation, you don't want to do the monthly thing like Patreon is. If you just want to do a monthly thing, you can go through paypal.me/Atlanta Sea Colony. Also, like we said, we got the merch. Boom. Go below and beyond. The t-shirt. Got a sweet hat. All on AtlantaSeaColony.com/merch. There's a ton of stuff on there. So tons of different types of clothing, hoodies, hats, mugs, bags, whatever. It's all there. So go check it out because we get a little percentage of that too whenever you order something off of there. So that helps as well. Other than that, I don't have anything else to go over. So once again, guys, thank you guys for tuning in for this live stream. Just stay updated with our social media because we'll have a lot of big things that we're going to post. throughout the week, and obviously our next live stream as well. So thank you guys, and Brendan, I guess I'll see you in just a minute after we get off of this. Thank you guys.